So here's the process of adding a blog post. At least that's the process I'm going through when I do it. That was a question that was asked on Facebook, so I'll show you my process right here. So the first step, just click Add New. So go to Post, Add New, and then how to add a blog post to a Thrive Themes website. So just put your title. That will show as the title of the post. SEO, so you can definitely go and add some SEO parameters. One of them is the snippet, so don't forget that maybe this blog post will be indexed, and this is a preview of what's going to show in the Google results. So you see the actual title right there. That's the name of the website, and most likely Google will show the name of the post, or at least partially show the name of the post. And then there's this description. If you don't put it, and this is what we call the meta description, if you don't put it, it will typically use the first part of the post, or Google now is clever enough that it might show something relevant to what the user has searched in on Google. So for now, I'll leave it empty. But you can always come back and do it. There are some settings here that once you've written your blog post, you can come back here and it will tell you if you want to improve the length of the blog post, all sort of parameters. So that's going to show up. We can come back at the end and let's see what result it's going to be. For me here, I'm using the theme called This is Ignition from Thrive. Usually I use the Rise theme as well, but basically there are some things here you could go and change. Typically I will create a post and then I will preview it, and then if there are different cases, depending if I use videos or not, sometimes I will decide to hide the featured image because I'm using the same thumbnails on the video and on the blog post usually. So something we can always come back here on the right side here. Category, so if you have categories already, you can pick it. So I'm gonna just use, I guess, Thrive Architect in this case, maybe Thrive Teams, and I'll just pick video as well. So you can pick multiple categories. If you want to use tags, that's a good way of doing it. Featured image, that's a good way of improving the look and feel of your blog, is to have consistent images. There are multiple ways of doing it. For me, I use a tool called ReallyDat, and basically I've got a template, and I'll show you exactly what I do. So basically I've got a template and I reuse the same template every time, just for speed and ease of use. So I'll just take my title here. You could have something different, of course, but I'm gonna just paste it there. And I have the option of adding a second text box as well. So I've just put using Thrive Architect. That tool, you can go and change a bit the look and feel. So I'm using this for my YouTube videos as well. It's exactly the same. So you can always go and sometimes I'll just make some adjustments like this. So it should be large enough for YouTube on the thumbnails. So it's always a challenge. And what I like to do as well is leave some space at the top, because on YouTube there's this header that shows up. So because of that, leave some space around. So like this, and then I can choose an image. So this tool is good for that. You just search for a term, and there are millions of images in there, and so just pick something and do it like this. There's adjustments, and I could go and pick a color, for example, but I guess in this case I'll just leave it like this. I'm not too fussy on spending time on this. For me, it's speed, and I believe if the more you produce the design as such, you can definitely spend more time. But in this case, I'm happy with this. So there's a bit of space here. So that is something here. The image is one thing. The text should be somehow legible. So So I'm happy with this. I'll just save it. So personally, I just put a number, so blog post 67, for example, and you can use the so use that just for so I know which blog post and by giving it a number. It's a hidden number, um, and you can use the uh, name of the blog post for the image itself. Google likes it typically, so that can be good for SEO. So I'll save it locally on my computer. Then I'm gonna just upload it um, on the website in WordPress. So I'm back here in WordPress on the blog post. I'll set a featured image. And if you're using Windows, maybe on Mac is the same, you can find your image and just drag and drop. That's a trick. Sometimes it's just faster to do it that way. You're going to see the image uploaded, set featured image, and then it shows up here. Then you can set the excerpt. So the excerpt is the small text of one liner or two liners that do show up when you preview your blog index. So you can see the thumbnails as well, so they're consistent. So that's one way of doing it. You can have a random image as well, just a fixed image, but that's one way. So I'll just set an excerpt, so the text here. So just type it in. I'll just say save it as draft for now. So this is saved, and then what I'm gonna do is launch Thrive Architect. So I've personally, I'm using in this case Ignition from Thrive, and basically I can still use most of the features of Thrive. You cannot use the templates; those are not available, but you can use the pre-made content blocks. For example, you can use typically for me, I will just use a text element, so you can click one time on it, it's going to start showing, and then you can start typing. In this case, there will be a video, so I'm going to just take a video element and I'm going to insert it there. So it's going to be on YouTube. I'm going to just paste it once the video is uploaded on YouTube. You can publish it and just you know, add it later as well, but I'll just put it as a placeholder here. I'll just type some text. So you can just use some text, and then if you want to use, for example, the styled list, you can just go and drag it there, and so I'll just list what I'm showing in this video. So I've added some of the elements I'm talking here. You can change the colors here, and let's pick something like this. And especially with this tiled element, very often the spacing is it's too the line height is very high, 2.3. So I'm gonna just review this. So typically what I do is go here, click on the element, so 1.3, and then I'm gonna remove, so go back here, styled list. I'll remove the list item spacing, just reducing a bit, and then I'm gonna just adjust this, just remove some of that. So for me that's pretty good here. Of course, you could use any of the elements here, so you could use the content blocks. I think that's quite popular. You can add images, for example. You can use pretty much anything in there. So for me, I keep things simply, but in some cases, adding maybe an icon or something like this can be definitely, you know, something you could just for the sake of adding something in there. I'll just show you. So sometimes keeping it simple. You want, in this case, I want people to go and view the video itself. That's the main, call to action. So I'm gonna save my work here. You can, because it's so simple, most likely there's no issues on phone and tablet, but always have a quick look, make sure that everything is good. So maybe the space here, you see, so I'll just go back and add a bit of space. So I always go back and go in, if I can, I go into desktop mode and maybe just add a bit of spacing here. Again, that comes with experience. So a bit more spacing, so I think that's good. So what I'm gonna do is add this content toggle as well under the video, and that's for the transcript. Since it's a video on YouTube, there are a few steps, and I can grab the automated transcript text from YouTube and just go and paste there. So basically, it's gonna go like this. You can change the color. So just click one time on it, and it's the hover color here, and then you just drag a text element right into it, and I'm gonna just paste it from whatever YouTube is giving me. So of course now I'm recording this video, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just publish the post so you can see it, and then after it's published, I'm gonna upload the videos on YouTube, and then just come here. The process is very simple. Come here, paste the YouTube link, and then I'll come here, paste the transcription, and just go and save work, and it's gonna update. So I'm gonna just save here. If you want to publish, you can go to post here and just click published here. So are you sure? Click yes. So all save change. Always preview what you do. So I'll just go to my site/blog, just refresh. And now we've got the new thumbnail, the new date, the excerpt, the text, and if I go inside it, then I've got, this is the featured image right there. I've got the start of the text, some of the information. The video will show after, so I'll go and upload and add it there, and then the transcription will go there, and all the fancy stuff will show as well. Because I'm using Thrive Leads, you can have your lead magnets show up automatically on your post. So without, just by picking the right category, the right lead magnet do show up. So I've got this as well, this disclosure that shows up because it's configured in Thrive Leads. And then the rest, it's always the same for me. I spent maybe an hour or two just configuring the layout here. This is pretty much how it looks like by default with the Ignition team, and comment section, everything is all automated. So overall it took me, well, the video is 12 minutes, so I paused it a few times, but within 20 minutes, of course, the text was very short, but if you have something very short or a video, within 20 minutes you should be able to get something published. So I hope this was useful. If you have a question, you can leave it here on the blog post in the comment section, or if you're on YouTube, in the YouTube comment section. If you have a question about something else, about Thrive Themes, Thrive Architect, or anything related to Thrive, feel free to post it as well. And if I know the answer, if I can get to it, I'll definitely record a video or post a blog post about it.